Seeking Jesus in the temple. Luke chapter 2, 39 to 52. When Jesus was 12 years old, a puzzling and inconceivable and unexplainable things happened. His parents looked in vain for him on the way home to Nazareth from Jerusalem. How could it happen? Losing your kid in the mall, forgetting where you parked your car, leaving your home with the water boiling on the stove. It happens more often than you think. Have you ever lost your way or lost the Lord on the way to church? How about to fellowship and in service? How can we guard ourselves from a fruitless and unproductive and a wasted time of worship at church? Number 1. Develop a growing relation. Look to Him. Luke chapter 2, 39 to 44. Worship is a growing and genuine relationship, not a stagnant or stalled one. A worshiper is an active participant, not a passive observer. When worship is not a growing experience, it becomes a ritual, a repetition, a routine. Joseph and Mary lost touch with Jesus, lost sight of Him, and lost track of Him. They were not irreligious or irresponsible, but they were distracted. My wife asked me, why did Jesus not tell His parents where He was? I replied, it was not a 12 years old responsibility to find his or her parents, but there to find the child. Further, Jesus did not stray from where He was. They did. The problem was not just that the parents looked for Him in the company of relatives and friends, chapter 2, 44, but that of losing Him, missing and neglecting Him in the first place. Number 2. Develop a knowing relationship. Learn from Him. Luke chapter 2, 45 to 47. Jesus' parents frantically and finally returned to the scene and spot of the missing child's last sighting. The place they lost Him was the place they found Him. Only on the third day did Jesus and Mary find Him, because it never occurred to them or crossed their mind that the temple was the place to look. Note the purpose. Jesus was there. What was He doing there? Listening and asking. Verse 46. By the age of 12, Jesus was nearly aware of His unique relationship with the Father and the need to build a personal relationship with God and to draw near to God in worship. God was not a stranger, but His Father. Verse 49. The teacher of the law was amazed or astonished. Verse 47. But not offended or insulted at the interrogation and cross-examination from young Jesus. Number 3. Develop a showing relationship. Live for Him. Luke chapter 2, 48 to 52. Finally, the outcome of worship is a showing relationship. Its outcome a transparency, trustworthiness, and testimony. Jesus' subjection to His parents is a natural part of worship. If you notice, all the gospel agree Jesus' first words to His parents are a question. John chapter 2, 4. Matthew 12:48, Mark 3:33. Jesus' questions, however, were not designed to embarrass. It was a reminder of his nature, his place, and his mission. Who he is, where he belongs, and what he loves doing. 3 critics fails to see verse 51. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. Jesus is never arrogant. He obeyed and respected his parents, never considered them uninformed, old-fashioned or grumpy old people. Apparently, Jesus is the first person in the Bible to obey, hupotasso, the same obey word describing wives submitting to their husband, Ephesians chapter 5:22, and young men to those who are older, 1 Peter 5:5. Verse 52 reveals that Jesus' growth was mental, physical, spiritual, and social. His growth is rounded and holistic. Biblical wisdom is more than mere knowledge and insight. It is practical lifestyle, common sense, and skilled application. The word grew, verse 52, prokopot, is to drive forward, to advance, in amount, to grow in time, to be well along. It means to increase, proceed, and improve. Conclusion. How was worship transformed your relationship with others? How you view and treat others? Do you worship with a proper attitude? Are you reverent and respectful? Are you living for Jesus, listening and looking to Him? Are you growing spiritually, physically, intellectually, emotionally, and socially?